Good morning, Miami Dolphin fans. How are you on this draft day? Yes, the Miami Dolphins are not scheduled to have a pick this year at the top of the draft, unfortunately. Well, good thing not the number one pick because that means we would have had a horrible season, but no first round pick is what I mean. But hey, there's always tomorrow, and that's what I'm looking forward to. Draft day, really, for me tomorrow as a big Miami Dolphin fan. I'll be having Justin here in a few minutes. He's running a bit behind due to a busy schedule. So he'll be in here live and we'll talk all things NFL draft and all things Miami Dolphins. And with no further ado, I get this. I put him up there to start because there's a lot of talk all of a sudden. I seen like people saying he'd be a good fit for the Dolphins and it's at a position of need, and he may be the BPA on the board at 51. And we will see. But that's just been some ramblings I heard. So I decided to put the offensive alignment up there. And as we speak, the man, the myth, the legend himself is about to join us here. And let me add him to the stream. Good morning, Justin.
Morning. How's it going?
Nothing. I knew you were going to be here in 1 minute, so I told him you had a busy schedule. So I wanted to make sure I started on time, make those people happy on YouTube that we're reliable. So I started on time. But welcome. And before I forget, I always forget, please like and subscribe and tell your friends about us. So, Justin, it's draft day. A little less exciting for Dolphin fans this year, but for someone like you who study all these prospects, regardless of team, it's a big birthday present to you. Me, I kind of start my birthday tomorrow when the Dolphins will finally be on the clock. So,
Right.
so how are you feeling that now it's draft day?
Oh man, it's awesome. It's a great day. It's kind of like waking up on December 25th and opening up a bunch of brand new presents, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
check this one out. Look at this. So yeah, it's kind of cool. I'm excited for these young men who are gonna these opportunities to change their lives and brighten their futures and grow as young men and as football players. It's great, man. It's draft day, dude. It's like a holiday. Everybody gonna get set up, get their wings all ready and their dips and their chips, and get ready to have those picks rolling in.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I agree. Like I said, we got a late way today for a little bit of our gifts, but hey, it's still we will have fun tomorrow. And there's some good guys that we're going to talk about that you think would be good fits for the Dolphins that could fall to 51. We'll get to that in a little while. Ender,
What's
as
up?
always, welcome back to the show. Ender, fins up, and yes, it's going to be. Let's see what those new players turn out to be. So we're going to get to some of your top five positions again. We kind of wanted to get to it yesterday, and then we kind of got sidetracked because we wanted to fit a mock draft. So, and I know we're going to probably want to fit a mock draft in today if some people start coming into the room.
Yeah.
So, we run another mock draft. But with that said, if you want to cover like all positions, let's start where someone might be. Who are your top five quarterbacks? You go like non-Dolphin critical at this time until we get more people. So, what's your top five quarterbacks?
My top five quarterbacks are Young, Levis, Stroud, Richardson, and Hendon Hooker.
Okay, so more or less the same as other people, but maybe a little mixed, not maybe ranked a little slightly different. But that seems to be the names that you hear that might all go in the first round. I don't know. I think one might end up falling the second. You never know because every night, some fans love to pump up quarterbacks more than some teams do sometimes historically. Yeah.
Yeah, I think what you'll see happen is four of them go in the first round and Hooker go in the second round. And then some of the other guys come off the board like Hayner, McKee, Hall, all will come off as well.
Yeah, I think what's funny is like everyone seems to be a lot of talk yesterday on the major networks that Anthony Richardson may be number two on a lot of teams' boards. Others are saying they can't see that, and it's probably still C.J. Stroud. So we will only find out tonight what the teams ranked them. So I'm pretty much with you. I think the first pick tonight's pretty much a foregone conclusion, and that the deal's done, and boom, he's their quarterback. But then moving down, because you don't move all the way up there without some plan that you already know who you wanted, because you just know, I'm going to take whoever we think is, that someone, hey, because, they gave up a first for next year to move all the way up when the first next year could be a more valuable pick. So they better be good because they could be sitting there with, they could have just given up the number one pick for next year.
Yeah.
When, a Williams or someone had been on the board for them. So
I
they
was
better
at
hope
work,
that this Bryce Young, I know you like him, and others. So what the negatives I hear on him, and before I get to a lot of his super positive, is that he lacks the size of your prototypical NFL quarterback, but others have proven that theory wrong and done fine. And that's mainly the thing, because everything else they like, it seemed to like him. But what do you think about his size and his overall? I know you rated him
it's
very
crazy
high.
because out of all of these quarterbacks that are up there, each one of them out of especially those four, out of Young, Levis, Stroud, and Richardson, they all have some sort of a knock on them or a deficiency. With Young, I'm not going to really say there's a deficiency in his game. It's a deficiency in his size. He's smaller stature guy, so he's going to be more liable to get hurt and get knocked around. I don't think he's got a lot of injury history in his background or in his high school career or in his college career, so I think maybe he'll be all right. But that's the risk you take when you take a quarterback that high. Levis, he's kind of just one of those nutcases, those weirdos that people probably want to know if he can put up those numbers for real or if it's all just a gimmick. Is it all just, a myth? He didn't have a good offensive line this last season. All of his receivers were gone and drafted to the NFL. He had a really rough season. So I think that'll kind of come into play just a little bit, but not as much. Stroud, NFL ready, can make the really good throws, dots all the I's, crosses all the T's. Comes from a pro style system. I really don't see anything that could have a knock on this kid as well. So I see him right up there with the other two.
Do you see a team? I know this is all speculation, but this is a fun time. This is why we love the draft day. Do you see a team either moving up to two of the Texans, or do you just see the Texans saying, "Oh, we got a chance to get a quarterback now, let's get it"? Or do you think they just go Will Anderson and then let some other team nab a quarterback? Or what's your if you were the GM right now, you're the GM of the Texans. You want to be wearing all that cool Dolphin stuff. But if you're the GM of the Texans, who would you pick tonight? Would you move down? Would you take Stroud, or do you think that's a little too rich for your blood?
I think I'd take Stroud because I think Young will come off the board number one.
Right.
It's funny because I was listening to Jim Rome while I was driving yesterday on the show, and they were talking about this, and they had an interview with Frank Reich. And the GM was like, well, I came into Frank Reich's room and I asked him a question, and he said, yeah, maybe. So and the question I think he asked him was like, hey, if Richardson's on the board at number one, are we going to go all out and take him? And he's like, yeah. So I think, honestly, I think they might have something going on off the top of the board for Anthony Richardson. So watch out. They might have an epiphany in their brain, and they go to the score table and be like, you think it's going to be Bryce Young, but they say Anthony Richardson.
Oh, that would be a shock. I think it's going to be Bryce Young, but that would be if Anthony Richardson of all of them. I was going to say, of the five that you just named, your top five quarterbacks, which one of them is most likely to fall? If any of them fall out of the first round, which one is most likely to fall out?
I think it's going to be Levis. I think Levis will be the one that falls, and it's because of things that really aren't in his control. He didn't have a team around him, and things kind of fell apart. And I think maybe scouts will be like, well, what's going to happen at the next level? Richardson, on the other hand, is a specimen, an athlete who has combine records. He went on record in SI interview saying, I will be in the Hall of Fame one day. Watch me grind. Watch me work.
I saw a lot of Gator football, and it leaves some to be desired because my son goes to the University of Florida, so I root for the Gators because, like I say, my money goes there. But he just never wowed me. He has some talent that wows me, like, oh my God, because sometimes he makes a throw or he scrambles, and you're like, holy cow, this kid's next level.
Fast.
And 2 minutes later, he's throwing a ball into the dirt, missing a target that's wide open, and you're like, Oh my God! Now I can see why there's some questions around him. So
Yeah, he has a lot of accuracy issues, like with ball placement. Like I've seen a couple plays where he's trying to throw like a bubble screen or a screen, and he's throwing it 2 yards up the field instead of behind the line of scrimmage. See, there's
yeah,
things like that where like that's a pick in the NFL. You
right,
can't do that. You can't. So
yeah,
he's just gonna learn. But out of all of those quarterbacks, he's the one with the highest floor. You know what I mean? Because he's got the athletic ability to make his game that much more better.
yeah.
So when you look at Anthony Richardson, what are you really attracted to? Is it his arm and his ability to process defenses and make those quick throws with accuracy? No, that's not his game. His game is athletic ability, running when the pocket breaks down. It's like a Lamar Jackson, but a bigger one.
Good
So
morning, G-Man. Welcome to the club. If you have any questions, G-Man, ask this morning. Welcome back. Love seeing you back in here always. But so your top 5 quarterbacks did not surprise many people listening to us today. But your top 5 running backs is gonna like make people say, "Oh my God, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about," because
yeah,
you are
people
a
are gonna
lot.
laugh at me and put on the big clown face and post it on their Twitter.
Yeah,
Like,
but that's
yeah,
fine. You don't mind putting your name to stuff.
no,
That's why I loved you for my site, giving all this intel. And so, with no further ado, before we do a mock draft and then hit your other positions, let's just do a little fun since we got some people in here now. Who's your top 5 running backs that's going to shock people?
top 5 running backs as I have listed, and this is all upon scorecards. So if I did an SRS scorecard, that's how they went into this order. It's a 3-way tie at the top between Devon Achane, Tajay Spears, and the Oklahoma running back Eric Gray. Okay, and then next is going to be a surprise. Xavier Valade is the next guy on that list. After that, then you have Zach Charbonnet would be third. Um, the Kenny McIntosh and Evan Hull out of Northwestern would be fourth. And then you would have coming in to round up the fifth would be the Sean Tucker kid out of, I think it's Syracuse. Right below that would be the Chase Brown and Deuce Vaughn. And
See, I like Chase
right
Brown a
below
lot.
him,
But
just
so,
Jamar
why are you
Gibbs.
so much different than everyone else? Because everyone else has the Texas kid, of course, and the Alabama kid, and all these guys. You know, you got Bijan Robinson, obviously, and Gibbs. I'm sorry if you guys don't know the names I'm referring to. Gibbs and Robinson, and and why aren't they not on your top 5?
Well, they're not on my top 5, but they're on my top 10. Like right below Deuce Vaughn and Chase Brown is Gibbs, Evans, and Robinson. So I mean, yeah, Robinson came in at number like 7 or 8. I don't know, man. I guess the thing about the Bijan Robinson thing that gets me is he's got a quick change of pace for him, but he's a bigger back. To me, he's more of a one cut and go kind of a running back.
Right.
I really think someone that gets into a right system with someone like that will be you'll be straight. You'll be ready to go. It's like someone like the Eagles or someone like the Browns or like the Vikings or someone like that. I think it's a good fit. Someone like the Dolphins. First of all, you're gonna have to get lucky enough to get in that draft position to draft him because
Oh
he's
yeah,
going
I
to
know.
go in the
This is
top
not where
20.
you're saying they're going to. For the record, guys, Justin's not saying these guys that he likes are going to be drafted over the people that others are saying. He just personally likes them from
Yeah,
what he watched on film. But he knows Robinson, Gibbs are going to be the first 2 backs probably off that
yep.
we already had this discussing in the past. So, and yes, G-Man, for sure.
Jimmy
I
buckets.
agree. I agree, G-Man, that Gibbs is good, but I agree with you that there's no way Greer is going to give up. Now if Greer falls, I mean, if Gibbs falls to 51, then that's a different story for Greer. But there's no way with Greer's history that he's given up draft capital to move up for a running back into the first round.
No
It's just
way.
that
No
would
way.
shock the heck out of me. And because it's just not his MO, because you see
Nope.
that a
Like,
lot of that. More of his MO, if I had to believe one of the rumors, is the Dalvin Cook to Miami rumors. Then
yeah,
I
I
believe
believe that. I see that happening.
because that's more of that's more of a Greer type. Like, oh, go get a veteran that's proven how he's normally operated on his running backs. He went and got Moser. He went and got Wilson. He got guys that have been on. I mean, Ahmed was cut by someone before coming to the Dolphins. Gaskins is one that was drafted by the Dolphins. So, he does, but hey, good morning to Albert. Good morning to
Chris
wonderful
Maljoy,
guys,
what's up,
Chris.
buddy? Chris Maljoy.
And yes, G-Man, I do not really watch basketball, but yes, I know the Heat won and surprised the world by knocking off the number 1 seed Bucks.
The Bucks.
So, hey, it's good to have a local team do well. Like I said, I'm not a huge NBA fan. I'm more of a football, baseball guy. But yeah, that was good news to see some Miami Heat get some.
Even better news, my Nuggets moved on, and now they're going to play the Suns in the next round. I'm excited for that. My Avalanche didn't do so good last night. We're down 3-1 or 3-2 now, so we got to battle back.
Yeah, get that coffee in, Chris. Get that coffee in.
Yeah, I haven't done that yet.
Dalvin Cook is another often injured player. Greer would love him.
It's true. See, that's another true fact. And I was going to say the thing about trading up for a running back, that would shock the heck out of me.
Oh, no, for me, just from knowing that we know of Chris Greer would be the amazing, like knock me off my socks. If they move up, I'm expecting like a tight end or something like that, or a lineman that they find that there's their top-rated lineman that they know is going to not fall to the Dolphins.
Right.
I hear Jackson. I'm horrible with other teams' players, but I know one of Jacksonville's linemen's about to get suspended. So that means Jacksonville may want now another team that's picking ahead of us that may want a lineman that didn't necessarily need a lineman before that suspension. I would go look it up. I'm horrible at names. It's just one of their top guys is going to be suspended, according to Ian Rappaport. So, that makes that falls that much. And let's see, where is Albert? Again, Albert, thank you. I think you're a first-time commenter, so I get to do my little cheesy Dolphin song that drives most people crazy, but, it makes me happy. So here we go. For YouTube, for being a first-time commenter, Mr. So, let's see, Albert contributed again. Let me get my. My dog's probably going to be barking. Luckily, I kicked my dog out of you guys. Someone's about to knock on my door. All right, guys. So anyway, Albert, yes. Now let's get back to some of these comments. Let's see.
I think he's right. I think Greer is using that as leverage against Minnesota. Yep.
That's where Greer. I give Greer strength in that he knows how to work trades and try to get the most out of the trades. Some of his draft pick decisions, like that's like any GM in football history. You're going to hit, you're going to miss, but he does seem to work the trade and the cap well. So they will figure out a way to fit Cook in. So I do agree, but again, we will see. I mean, if a great running back falls to Miami at 51, then that's a whole different story. And maybe that's what Greer thinking too. Like, let me put all kinds of rumors. Oh, I want Cook, I want Gibbs, and maybe
I want Barkley, I want Derrick Henry, I want.
So, okay, I'm gonna get the mock draft, and then another position that since we got some Dolphin fans in here now, your top 5 tight ends. I haven't talked to you about your top 5 tight ends, so I don't know if they're way off compared to other people's top 5, or you're more in line with the mainstream guys on this one. I know your running backs are way different than anyone else that we just discussed.
Yeah, my top 5 is a little bit like my top 5 in my running backs. There's a 3-way tie at the top for the number 1 spot, which would be with Michael Mayer, Darnell Washington, and Dalton Kincaid. Those are all my top tight ends. Then my number 2 tight end was a person who's probably not on a lot of people's boards at all. My next 2, actually, Josh Weil out of Cincinnati. I think he's going to be good. I think he's going to be a sneaky player to turn some heads. And then Zach Kuntz out of Old Dominion would be my number 3 tight end. And then you go down the line. I got Payne Durham out of what was it? What school did he go to? I forgot. I think it's Wake Forest. And then you have Sammy Laporta.
I was going to say, you don't have Laporta as high as others, because a lot of people I've seen having Laporta as a possible target for the Dolphins at 51.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure, I could see
that. Would you be okay with that? Even though he's not as ranked as high as some of your others, would you be okay with Laporta?
I like Laporta's game. Yeah, I'm totally okay with that. It just depends. Like, if you pick him at pick 51, I'm going to be like, I don't know about all that. But, like, if you can get value on him later in the draft, sure, I'm all for it. I know the tight end thing here has been banged through the table, like, and I know everyone's like, well, I think it's our second. We need it. Why? We need a tackle and you need a guard. And if in fact, if I could be quite honest with you, you need 2 tackles and you need a guard. And the reason why is because the incumbent starter, right, that's Austin Jackson, kind of keeps me up at night. And then the left guard situation is a whole nother story in itself. Then you go to the left tackle, just like last year, he was playing on one leg, playing on one toe, torn labrum or whatever in his shoulder or his arm. So you have that to deal with. He's not going to last.
Yeah, and I'm back to the tight ends real quick. Tucker Kraft, another name mentioned to the Dolphins a lot. Yep. You're okay on him, but I was told you're number 1 guy, but we know the number 1 guy in your tight end, he's not going to be there for the Dolphins, so we would
I wish, man.
But there's your number 1 tight end out of Utah, Dalton Kincaid. Most mocks have him going in the mid-first round, so he's going to be long gone by the Dolphins pick on the clock tomorrow night, but that's his top-rated tight end. But now here is another one that you did not mention, but a lot of Dolphin fans love this guy, shouting his name from the rooftop, pulling the Sonny Reaver reference, like no matter what, Tucker Kraft, so, but you're not as high on him, but you do grade him as a backup, basically, on this. Does that change now that you've watched him a little more? Because you gave me this score a long time ago. Has anything changed, or that's your solid score on him?
No, that's my solid score on him. I'm not going to change any scores. It just needs a little bit of work. His agility is average. His change of direction, which kind of goes along with the agility, it's average. His catching ability out of the backfield, to me, it's average. He's average at best. His yards after the catch, his yak yard, the same thing, average. Route running needs work. That's why it's scored at an 82. His pass blocking needs work. He's going to need work. Durham Smythe is not good enough, too slow, not dynamic at the passing game, need an upgrade. Sure, I can agree with you on that part of he's not good enough as far as the athletic ability and what he brings with the
he's a solid player, but maybe he's not a true number 1 tight end.
He's one of the best blocking tight ends in the NFL, dude. Go look at the numbers.
Yeah, right. That's what I say. For that, that's where his strength is. But if you want someone, but the problem is we all love as fans who's like, because McDaniel came from the 49ers, so we all expect, like, oh, we're gonna have a Kittle, but
like
unless you have a freaking Kittle on your roster, you're not gonna have a guy that's like that. Just like when Joe Philbin came, oh, we're gonna have like the offense like the Packers. Well, guess what? Aaron Rodgers didn't come with Philbin to Miami. So, and just like when, oh, we got Adam Gates, we're going to be like the Denver's, well, a prime Peyton Manning still with some of his best years.
Peyton Manning didn't come with him.
I know, so that's it. So I know sometimes we just think like, oh, he was there, so these guys are all going to be great. But, sometimes it's actually just the damn player is really good, and, you can make a coach look good. And there are coaches that can coach up okay players and make them good players, and good players to make great players. But some people Kittle walks off the bus and he's a stud from the day he steps on a football field,
I mean, like G-Man just said right there, you need someone who's more explosive to add a dynamic weapon to our offense in the tight end. In my opinion, and I might be wrong, which I am a lot, there could probably some sneaky tight end I'm not even talking about who's going to be good, which there's a couple out there that I talked about to you, the Noah Gindorf kid and a couple guys like that, but they're more blocking tight ends. You know what I mean?
Just like Brenton Strange.
Brenton Strange, the Noah Gindorf, the Braden Willis from Oklahoma, guys like that. They're out there that could be done and had for undrafted stuff. But there's only one player that brings that dynamic ability and to stretch defenses and to do that stuff, and that's Dalton Kincaid. There's only one guy I would trade up for as a tight end, and that's Dalton Kincaid. That's the guy that would make this offense actually just explode. It would jump off the map if you put someone like that on the field with what we already have.
Okay, for the next guy in line, let me make a weird comparison. Kind of like maybe a second receiving game, but better blocker. Is there someone like that in the draft that could be an upgrade to the Dolphins tight end? Someone that's a good threat, but can block. Okay, maybe not on Smite's blocking.
Dalton Kincaid.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm talking about 51 range because I'm talking about someone that could realistically fall to the Dolphins. Would you put Laporta there, or would you put Darnell Washington? Darnell Washington as a blocker, yes. As a receiver, I'm not sure, and I don't think Darnell is going to fall to 51 either.
I think I would go ahead and slam someone like Josh Weil and Sammy Laporta in that mix. Yeah, those two would fit the bill. They're both better blockers with some receiving skills. Yeah, I think that would fit. Yeah, good tight end is quarterback's best friend. Exactly. It's good to have them because they're nice security blankets when everything else is covered. And you're like, well, I could go right down here to the flats to so-and-so or to the seam, and he's going to be open. Yeah, I agree. I think tight end's important. But I also think the Dolphins fans, y'all need to realize that Mike McDaniels doesn't use the tight ends like you think they're going to use them. They use the tight ends as extra blockers out on the edges. You have to be able to block in this system, or you cannot play tight end for the Miami Dolphins. That's bottom line.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's why Gesicki wasn't a good fit here for sure.
No,
so
and I knew it.
That's why I'm worried a little about the Tanner Connor. I always flip his name. I always forget if it's Connor Tanner or Tanner Connor.
It's Tanner Connor.
I hate people with Tanner Connor. I hate people with two first names. So Tanner Connor, to me, it's just kind of like, right now he'll probably just be a receiving threat because, I mean, he didn't even, he wasn't even a tight end in college. You think the guy's going to be able to block?
Wow. Yeah, I do. I think he was on Bruce Feldman's all freak list, bro. Yeah, he can block, he can run, he's got a great 40 time. I think we all need to stop taking so much into consideration a player's first year when he's
especially for tight end. I'm 100% with you, but I was just thinking, since I'll be admit, other than seeing him, and the couple of drop balls that he had during the season, I'm not going to knock a rookie for that. But it's just, I don't know too much about him. I never watched his college film and all this to see how he really blocks. I hear he's like a converted wide receiver. So to me, that's a big difference in being an NFL tight end that you got to mainly block a lot. So,
I think he's gonna shock some people this year and maybe turn the corner. One more year under his belt. Tanner Connor has some upside, very raw project. Yes, that's exactly what Tanner Connor is. He's a project that you're hoping to bring along, and maybe in year 2 or 3, he could really start producing for you. Year 2 is coming up, so let's hope it's this year. But we'll see. Training camp and OTAs and everything that when they come up, let's make sure this guy's there because we just need him learning and adjusting to the NFL game speed. I think that's all that it is. Someone like that is NFL game speed. Things are a little bit quicker. They're a lot faster. Things are happening all around you. The terminology is different. It just takes a little bit of time to get comfortable.
Yeah, I know. And Silvert's in addition to the Dolphins tight end room. So that at least by adding him, they're not desperate on draft day on when you pick tomorrow to go tight end if there's other positions that are better on the board. But, it's definitely we need depth at the tight end because you don't know what you still got in the Tanner Connor kid. He could be that guy, but, like you say, he may even have to cook another season simmer on the back grill for a little while. So you don't know what you have with him. So you're basically Silvert and Smith. And so you're going to need Smite. You're going to need someone else that can step up and play. And I know it's going to be maybe asking another rookie to do that, but maybe someone that comes in a little higher pedigree than what the young man Connor came in with to start like with a little more experience at the position.
Well, if you notice when they signed the Siebert kid, like if you know anything about his game, he's a blocking tight end with underrated athletic ability. He's basically another Durham Smythe. And the reason why they're doing that, I just said, the tight ends in this system are going to be blocking tight ends. You have to be able to block. So if you wanted to add, you already have blocking tight ends. We have 2. You're only missing the guy who can block a little bit and stretch the defense like the Kittle. So you're only missing the Kittle part of this.
Right.
That's why I say Kincaid. But it makes more sense if they're going along the way they are and they're like, no, we're going to get a tight end. It'll be more of a blocking tight end like Washington, Strange, Noah Gindorf, someone like that. And don't doubt if it's someone that's late, like it's not a high draft pick, it's an undrafted free agent or a late round pick, because I think they're prioritizing, obviously, the blocking on the edges.
So yeah, G-Man, he came up, can you imagine if he had, and of course he threw the shade at Ross like he loves to do. Can you imagine? But I agree, G-Man, that was stupid. That was a horrible thing from Ross, like being so obvious about the tampering and all that stuff, and the whole tanking thing, because that's what really brought the attention to the whole thing. So they couldn't prove the tanking, so they had to nail the Dolphins for something, and it's just they were, I guess, teams do it all the time, but I guess we were more blatant. But they were gonna nail the Dolphins no matter what, for sure, because of Ross. I do agree. Ross was a little too just blatant in that. But yes, that pick there sitting at 21, I think it would be. I don't even look at it because I don't like looking at it, but I kind of know where it is just because I'm a Dolphin fan. But that would be nice because then if you did want to Gibbs, that'd be like a bonus when you're a good team and Greer could break off his MO and actually draft a running back, or maybe
Bro,
actually move up a little bit. Maybe Kincaid falls closer to 21 than people think, and they can move up a little bit without giving up a future first. So I mean, there's
man.
all kinds of able to open the door for. But
Yeah,
for
if
now
we
we
had
don't.
that pick, at pick 21, that's right in the Dalton Kincaid range right now. Like you would be able to draft him without trading up. And if you didn't want the tight end, you could have went after a Paris Johnson. You could have went after a DeJuan Jones. You could have went after a Broderick Jones. Any one of those tackles right there is in that range. So yeah, that first round pick hurts us a lot.
No,
Yeah,
I
I
know.
noticed that Hendon Hooker is definitely shooting up draft boards. Everyone's talking about him. Um, not a bad quarterback, but another guy who I think is going to need a little bit of time to cook at the next level. He's not a plug and play guy. He ain't gonna step right in and start lighting it up. And if he does, I would be really surprised. But yeah, he's a decent quarterback with a little bit of polish on him, and he'll probably be ready to go in the NFL.
Now I'm going to let you say, because we covered because the Dolphins need, basically the running back and the tight end, but then some people are saying linebacker, and then I'm going to get to offensive line. So if you want to talk about either offensive line or linebacker first, up to you. And I'm going to be getting the mock draft ready in the background.
I'll give you my top five inside linebackers and top five outside linebackers.
All right, sounds good.
My top five inside linebackers are as follows: Drew Sanders, Jack Campbell. This is going to surprise people. Ventrell Miller and Sewell and the Henley kid out of Washington State. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Williams and Toa Toa falling up the bottom of that. The Ventrell Miller kid, honestly, I think is very underrated. He's going to go somewhere and make someone real happy. They probably didn't expect to see that coming at a guy with a very smaller of a stature than most of these running backs. That like Drew Sanders is 244. I think Ventrell Miller is only like 227, a little under 230. But he packs a pop, man. He can really hit. He's a great tackler, follows through, great open field tackler, going to make someone happy. The top five outside linebacker spots that I have are Ivan Pace Jr., Demario Overshone, Owen Popino, Simpson, and Bumper Pool. Those are my top five outside linebackers right there.
Wow, Bumper Pool, he falls in a lot. I guess you saw him because you found Drew Sanders, so you saw some Bumper Pool, and I guess something caught your eye because he falls in a lot of stuff there. So
Oh
that's
yeah, he
good to
falls
hear.
in a lot of drafts, bro. But he's the leading tackler out of Arkansas. He reminds me kind of like a run and chase type player, like Jerome Baker, who can offer you a little bit of a blitz package as well. But I think he's decent. Offensive line is always a need for this team. Yeah, unfortunately, you're right. As long as
So
I've been in the Dolphins community, honestly, which has been since like 2015, I've been banging the table for some offensive line. I mean, literally every year I'm the one who's like, we need more offensive line, and it just never pans out our way. I'm hoping it'll change here soon and we get some decent offensive line help. Let's hope so.
no, I agree.
While
So
you're
you
getting
go
that
on
loaded
with
up,
I'm trying to get there.
no, go ahead, get it unloaded.
Yeah,
While you're doing that, I'll give you guys my top five at edge, which is going to surprise a lot of people. Obviously, I don't have Will Anderson on the top of my board. Same way I didn't have Bijan Robinson on the top of my board. Sometimes I just don't fall in love with those guys. They look like Like Will Anderson looks like more of a linebacker to me than a pass rusher. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll find out. But my top 5 would be the Isaiah Land out of Florida A&M, followed by the Habukak Baldonado out of Pittsburgh. And then you got the McDonald kid coming in 3rd, Hampton 4th, and Tyree Wilson and Zach Harrison coming in at 5th, followed up by the Ramirez kid out of Eastern Michigan next, who's actually kind of fallen off draft boards and is looking like a UDFA.
Okay. Well, we got the board running here, so we'll see what falls, and we won't do a trade this time. We keep it, let's just see how it falls. I mean, unless they knock our socks off with a trade, I'm with you. I would not want to. From 51, I would not trade past pick 60. I'm not dropping past 60, and it's too far of a drop. If you could pick up John Michael Smith is a guy that was an outside guy I wanted for the Dolphins, just went off the board.
Right.
But we'll see. So
and that's the way the draft is going to go. It's going to start like that tonight. All those names that everybody wants is going to start coming off the board real fast. There's one right there. I'm going to
stick with my guns and say, I mean, that's not a bad. We could probably do it. Some of these are. Oh, that's actually. I would flip maybe go, but the thing is, you got some good guys on the board
take
there.
Take away 197 and see if they'll do it.
Yeah. Let me see. I throw him 238. Let's see.
No. Don't throw him. Don't throw him 238. Throw him Cedric Wilson or Noah Igbenogany.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Throw him something in there, but not our draft capital.
Right, exactly.
We'll throw you a player. We'll take back 197. We'll keep 57 and 189, and we'll give you Cedric Wilson.
No,
fine. They're like, no.
You just want to pick?
Yeah, let's just pick.
All right, let's pick. So this kid right here, this Kansas, I don't see him probably falling. I don't know if he's really. I'll ask your advice. I don't know if he's a good fit for the Dolphins, but he's been getting a lot of play lately. He's another kid from South Florida, went up to play University at Pittsburgh. Some people, I know it's probably because of the school he played for, but some people remind some people of Aaron Donald. Are you as high on him as others?
Yeah, honestly, I really am high on him. He's awesome. He ranked really high on my scorecard. As far as the 5 tech positions, he's the number 3 on my list. He's the number 3 5 tech on my list. So yeah, he's awesome. He's a classic tweener as well. He can play some 3 tech. He can play some 5 tech. He's great. Yeah, I really do like Elijah Cansey quite a bit.
Let's see if anyone wants to chime in. Today is the last mock draft. Hallelujah. Noah Iggy is a cadaver, dead. So if anyone on there, if you want to make the pick, or we're going to let Justin be on the clock, but if any of our watchers, because we like being the most interactive show here, make your pick who you think the Dolphins should take at how this draft window fell. And I will show you more people on the board. Let me get my banner out of the way so it's not blocking the list.
I know for a fact right now that most of the people, if you were to ask them the way the board is sitting right now, most Dolphins fans, casual or hardcore, they would take Jamar Gibbs right here.
I know for sure that's what fans would want for sure. And I'm not against it either if we're sitting there at 51 and that fell. Like I say, all the talk is that he may even go at the end of the first round now, and so that might not be realistic. But we got some other quality names that Dolphin fans have like you said, we got the Kansey kid, we got Gibbs and Jack Campbell's another name that Dolphin fans like. Our boy Anthony was in here yesterday saying that he loves Mozzie Smith and wouldn't mind the Dolphins trading up for Mozzie Smith. Then you got Steve Avila, another Musgrave. Let's see who else. Sidney Brown. I know you're very high.
Yep.
Cody Mock. Sidney Brown.
As you can see, the corners and the safeties are always going to be there because there's a lot more of them available that are quality than everything else. Right here, I'll be honest with you, I'm not for trading up for Mozzie Smith. But if he was to fall to pick 51 right here, I would seriously have to consider taking Mozzie Smith right here.
Okay.
It's either that or Avila or one of the tackles, and that's just because I'm taking it, trying to protect Tua, trying to protect our
No,
assets.
I like the Avila pick. I like all those. So I'm letting you run the board here. So you're on the clock, and let me make sure if anyone's chimed before.
I would take, because there's not a lot of one techs in this draft, I would go ahead and take Mozzie Smith right here.
All right, let's do it then. Let me go back to I just came there to make sure no one was commenting about who they think the Dolphin. So let's go take Mozzie Smith.
And so that would give you your true one tech in your defense to go ahead and rotate in and out with someone like a Raekwon Davis. It gives you a lot of position flexibility. Now you can play Raekwon as a 3 tech in some form of capacity, meaning maybe Zach Sealer needs a rest. You go ahead and be like, Raekwon, go in there and give me some snaps.
This one that was okay, that I'm going to reject, but this one here is hard to pass up. You're only dropping down 3 spots, and you got.
I take that. I take that right now. But I'm praying to God. See, now I don't mess. Now what's your next offer? Okay, reject both of those and go draft Matt Bergeron.
Look at that Gibbs. I wonder why Gibbs is falling in this simulator. Maybe they just haven't moved his rankings.
Maybe because people are valuing the running backs higher than they really have value for. That's what I would think.
Yeah.
No one's
going to. So who did you say here? I'm sorry. You want Bergeron here?
If he's on the board, I think that would have to be my pick.
Let's see. No, he's not there.
And he's gone. See, now what are we going to do if this happens in real life? Where did he go? Damn, he went early.
Yeah, he went real early this time.
77.
Oh, he went at 77. So he went before we were in on the clock anyway, so it's not a bad trade down. He was gone off.
Now, what's on the tackle board still, though, that's left? What's on the tackles? Oh,
Blake
God, I don't
Freeland.
like. No, I don't like any of that, dude. I don't like none of it.
So let's go to all first. So you got. I think in real life, if Gibbs is really there, I know it's not realistic but it's hard to pass him up at that spot. And then you got Sewell. Let's see.
I just go ahead and take Gibbs right here, I guess. I mean, honestly, he fell so far. Screw it. Just put him on the board. We traded back, and we still ended up with him, and we added assets. That's not bad.
And we just started a little bit. We started a run on running backs there. After we took him, a whole bunch of running backs started going off their board. I see. So.
The thing is the tackles all went off the board, and we weren't involved. That's not good.
No, I know, but that's how especially with the lack of capital we have this year, it's going to probably happen again. That's what was happening the year we traded up for Eichenberg because there was a run on offensive lineman in Miami.
Yep.
Went boom. Sorry, G. We already took G-Man. Sorry, McIntosh is on the board, but we already went and took a running back. So,
so
it is what it is.
On the board right there, too. Jacorian Bennett, dude. Wow.
How are you on Real Mallory? Not just another Gesicki style, not your blocking, or can he block really well?
He's decent. He didn't even. I guess he's probably on my top 10 list, but just barely.
Okay.
There's just something about the kid that just kind of makes me not into it. Like, he's a little clunky. He's a little just uncoordinated. It looks like to me, but obviously I'm wrong. He came out there in the combine and put up really great numbers. But
you're Nick Broker. I know you like this kid. He probably won't be there by our next pick, but do you like Nick Broker enough to take him here, or
I like Nick Broker. He can do some things. He can play a little bit of guard, a little bit of tackle.
How about Jarrett Patterson? Notre Dame.
I like him as well. He can play center and guard. I think he suffered an injury, and he's trying to rehab out of that. So that would scare me away from drafting him right now so early.
Right.
I guess mid to late, early, whatever you want to call it. I see a guy down there on the board right there that's maybe we could draft with our next pick right there, the very last guy, Jackson Kirkland. He can play guard. He can play tackle. That would help us out quite a bit, but I think it's maybe a little bit too rich to take him right here. What's the top of the board?
Kenny McIntosh, Trey Dean, Eric Gray, another guy that's very high on you, but we already took a running back. Rasad Terrace, Michael Wilson, Patterson.
What's at guards? Oh, damn. The Braden Daniels kid came off the guards list already. What's at center? Yuck, there ain't a lot left.
You don't like the Penn State kid? I know Miami Dolphins went to Penn State Pro Day, but
yeah, he's decent. Juice is all right. What's it?
I know you like this Brett, and look at him. He's at 333. Brett, and you'd be on the phone with him already, saying if you're a free agent, you're coming to the Dolphins. So
I can't believe he's rated so low. But what's overall all pick 158? I can't believe we're struggling with this so much. But there's I don't know.
The board didn't fall because
the board fell kind of weird. But the way this is sitting right now, honestly, with him being on the board right there, and the future, looking to the future, Xavier Howard's getting older. It's not like Ramsey's some spring chicken. I go ahead and draft Jacorian Bennett right here. I can't believe he fell that far. It's a luxury pick. I would just take Jacorian Bennett.
It's funny. He's ranked right where we're picking him. They have him at 158, and we're taking him at 158. That's
right.
Funny.
I think he's really good, man. Like, I can't believe he fell that far. It's another cornerback who can run with receivers, fast, aggressive, press, can play some zone, some lurk. He's good.
All right. Oh, look at Halams. I know you like him, and he fell.
Yep.
Let's see.
Yeah, he's rated up real high on my board. I do like Helms quite a bit. Jake Hayner. Shaka Hayward. Mo Ibrahim.
Yeah, I know you like him too, but like I said, we already drafted for running back, which is against your MO too. But hey,
yeah,
you drafted a running back, so
it was against my MO. I would go ahead and go down the board right there and take the guard out of LSU. I think his name's Brandon something or other. Up higher.
Man, you're going this far down?
No, up higher, not lower.
Oh, that's the highest you can go.
That's his right there, Anthony Bradford. Excuse me.
Okay, Anthony Bradford. Okay.
Now you got a guard as well to go along to help you and compete with Liam Eichenberg. This is, I think we got this on a trade right here, this 238. Oh, man. Evans and TJ Bass, I like both. What's the all? What's the very total? All the prospects.
Yeah, this is all.
Yep. I hear people are starting to fall in love with that Malik Cunningham a little bit. His athletic ability and able to scramble out of the backfield. Someone's going to fall in love with him and draft him late. Let's go lower here. Go into like the 250 range. Ooh, Evan Hull. Keep going. Right there. Keandre Coburn out of Texas. Did we get a one tech already? No, we already got a one tech. We already drafted Mozzie Smith. Yeah, we did. Oh, scratch that idea. Go back to take Evan Hull, bro, right here. Go ahead and take Evan Hull out of Northwestern.
Where was he?
Right there.
So another running back?
Yeah, why not?
All right. Boom.
Not only that, but it's a late round pick and a running back. He's going to have to fight just to get on the football team anyway. So maybe you go ahead and trade like a Gaskins or a Ahmed for late round picks next year if you really like the look of Evan Hull and you already got Jamar Gibbs. So there's not going to be enough carries to go around anyway with the guys I mentioned. Gaskins. I mean,
realistically, the Gibbs falling to 87 is like insanely not likely.
That's not going to happen. That'll never happen, bro.
So, but hey, that's what we're here for, man. We're here for fun. and see how the draft falls, like saying what you would take if those. All right, G-Man, no more mock draft. I know, but you know what we have to do? Oh, okay.
No
You
more
come on
mock
up, Anthony.
drafts.
Oh, okay. I didn't see him earlier because I was behind the scenes. Let's see. Sorry. Come on, G-Man. Let him do one mock draft. Let Anthony get on the clock. We want Anthony on the clock.
Let him take off, man. Let him get his hot takes in.
Yeah.
It's a crapshoot, bro. It's the NFL draft. You never know what's going to happen here with these guys and where they're going to fall. Like, I guarantee you there's a surprise to come off the board here early that's going to shock people tonight. Like, watch Anthony Richardson be the #1 draft pick in the whole draft. Just watch. You heard it here.
Oh, that would definitely shock them. I'm going to bring in our friend Anthony. You can talk to him and introduce him,
Anthony,
Justin,
what's up,
as
buddy?
I get my mock draft rating.
Honestly, I'm saying this. I'm still think. I still don't think the Panthers are trading up for a quarterback. I think they're. I still think they're trading up to get Will Anderson.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. They traded up to get Will Anderson all the way to #1, man. Oh man. It's either my eyes are really, really bad or I'm absolutely crazy. But I don't know, man. That'd be crazy. I would shock.
No, because I really do not trust. I don't trust Bryce Young. I don't know what people's obsession with the kid is.
He's good.
To be honest.
He's really good.
He's too small.
That's got nothing to do with playing football. I don't like the size comparison thing. It's just it's dumb. Tell that to Darren Sproles. Tell that to Philip Lindsay. Tell that to
for the quarterback position, size matters.
Yeah, tell that to Doug Flutie, bro. Doug Flutie was a small quarterback and played. Tell that to Drew Brees. Tell that to Russell Wilson.
Drew Brees is definitely a good example, and hopefully Tua, who's on the smaller side, becomes a good example.
But
anyway, Anthony, you're on the clock here right now. Let's see. You take it. Let's see what the next one is. Oh, the next one is. Oh, you're only moving down 2, and you're picking up 130.
That's a damn good trade right there. I would take the Bears offer.
Get that one.
Yeah,
I would. I'd take it.
Yeah.
You're only going down three spots.
I'm going to reject that one because I want to get Anthony on the clock here.
You're on the clock, Anthony. Put on your GM hat. What are you doing at pick 53?
Go to defense.
Oh, you don't like John Michael Smith? I like him.
So do I.
I like him. Go to DT.
Mozzie Smith. He's gone.
Shaka Ika.
No, that's who you like?
Yeah. I like
you want him?
Ika.
Yes.
I'm picking him. All right. I've picked him a couple times in my mocks.
So have I. I like it because there's very few nose tackles and 0.
Reject it.
There's very few of them in this draft, man. In fact, I think there's only really, in my opinion, there's only 2 true nose tackles in this draft, and it's Mozzie Smith and Ika. And then I guess you could say maybe 3 with Coburn, but he's kind of like he could be a little.
Is Jomo more of a 3-tech?
Who?
Jomo, his teammate, Coburn's teammate.
Oh, Jomo, yeah, I think he's more of a tweener, more of a 3-tech, 5-tech, yeah.
Reject it.
All right, there.
But I do like the Mojo's game, though.
Go to linebacker.
No linebacker. Oh, Ivan Pace. I know Justin likes Ivan Pace. Owen Papo, too.
Love popping.
Honestly, I don't care that he's a reach here. I'm getting overshown.
That's fine. That's not that money. That's fine. If you like someone on your board, man, you nail them.
I love Overshown. I like Overshown quite a bit. Great linebacker. Very tall. Gets his hands in passing lanes. Wraps up. Makes great tackles. He cover.
May have fallen to 136 but I forgot that you had got that good trade. But anyway, now I'm going to go to all for you and see who's. These are the guys on the board. You got pick 136 now, Anthony.
Great trade, man.
Go to defense, please. Go to corner.
And you're on this defense here.
Yeah, he's been saying he wants to double.
Mekhi Garner.
LSU.
Over Riley Moss?
Yes.
Hell no.
Is Riley Moss still on the board? I didn't see his name.
He wants
Oh, yeah, I see it. But anyway.
He wants Mekhi.
Well, you have him rated, Justin, you have to admit, a lot higher than a lot of other people have him rated. But I know you like yourself some Riley Moss. I give you credit.
Oh, go to safety.
Yep, that either means I'm really, really stupid or really, really smart.
Yeah, we will find out in a couple years, I guess.
Exactly.
Anthony Johnson.
Wow, you're really taking the defensive route for sure.
Man, you went all defense, bro. You didn't even make one offensive selection.
And go to special teams.
He's going to take Michael Turk.
I say Mac Turk
actually,
too.
you're going to be shocked. I'm actually going to take Jake Moody.
Oh, damn, I am super shocked. The kicker out of Michigan. I like that pick. I like it.
And there you go. Those are Anthony's picks for the Dolphins.
Micah, Overshown, Gardner, Johnson, and Moody.
Definitely all defense, but definitely not a bad draft at all, talent-wise.
Because what I'm thinking with the Moody pick is eventually we're going to let Sanders walk, to be honest. Like, either trade him or completely release him from his contract.
No, we did not. I don't think. Did you take a tight end, Justin? Yeah, we didn't take a tight end today. And I agree with you, Albert. That's probably going to be one of the needs for the Dolphins, but we'll see. And then I'm
still saying we're going all defense to please the because honestly we went offense last year, and with the draft and the what is it called and free agency. I think that's what we're gonna do this year. We're gonna have Fangio do the picks. It's gonna be all defense. But I'm saying we trade up twice, to be honest. That's my big prediction. I think we trade up to get Mozzie Smith around like 31, between 30 and 41 and stuff like that.
Like a second round grade right there. I don't know, man. It could happen. I was thinking about it yesterday when you mentioned it.
Yeah, then we trade up again to get Jack Campbell.
I wouldn't doubt that. I could see that. The Mozzie Smith one I don't know, maybe. I think both are kind of a long shot. We'll see. Trading up is definitely something that the Dolphins like.
So what do you guys grade my draft?
Oh no, it was solid.
It's solid. I'll give you a draft a B. That was a good draft. There's a lot of players.
I went all defense. I gave it all to Fangio.
I agree, but it's going to be tough where we're picking G-Man to get plug and play at 51, so it has to fall our way, but you are 100% right. We need players that can step up quick and play well, at least be contributors to some aspect of the team. So yeah, I agree with that.
No, and Overshown to me, I understand he's a little bit of a project, but at 84, drafting a player at 84 that's a project is actually makes sense because not third round really is not a starter. Like normally in the third round, you're drafting guys who need a little bit of a development. So, and honestly, our future middle linebackers are Overshown. We need two middle linebackers. We need for a 3-4. We need two middle linebackers. Correct? Am I thinking?
Yeah, the two middle linebackers need to match. You know what I'm saying? Like the inside linebackers games need to be the same as the other inside linebacker, so they need to match. And then the outside linebackers, same thing. They need to match. Their games need to be the same and similar, like Chubb and Phillips. Like you put those together.
No, that's why I'm saying that matches with Tyndall. Both of them are good coverage linebackers.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that.
No, that's why we see what Tyndall can do this year. Hopefully, now he's going to be second year in the
Because
league.
I really
first
don't
year
trust this guy, David Long, to stay healthy. I don't really trust this guy. He's going to get injured at some point this season.
He's hurt all the time, bro. He's hurt all the time.
Yeah.
That was a mistake. I don't know why Greer likes bringing injured players. He did it with Tua. He's doing it with he brought the tackle.
Armstead.
I understand tackle was a need with Armstead, but the guy gets injured, and now we brought in an injury prone linebacker. I don't know what his obsession with injury prone players is. And our medical staff is not that good keeping players healthy.
They just want to give him another chance. That's
Yeah.
how this works sometimes.
So what do you guys agree? Do you guys agree with G-Man that pick 84 might go to Minnesota for Cook, or is that too high of a price for Cook at this point?
I could see that. I'm not going to be.
That's too much. That's too much of a. Honestly, the most I would give up for Cook, to be honest, is maybe a future fourth next year.
Yeah, I know the bad thing about the Dolphins, they don't even have a fourth next year. They got one and a two.
No,
but
I'm not saying next year, 2025.
Oh, okay. Well, if they would take something
I mean, if they go for Cook there, I could see something like that in that range. I wouldn't be very excited about it because you're giving away draft assets that could be future. But if it helps you win a Super Bowl, then I'm all for it. G-Man had a couple comments on there, like that one, the one right here, I agree with. But the Stroud better than Bryce Young, nah, I don't agree with that one.
Yeah. Well, more people seem to agree with you so far, but we would know on draft night what the teams think. So, we could be.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, we can hear you, Anthony.
Something weird. No, the reason why I'm hesitant on drafting a guy like Bryce Young is a good quarterback, but what worries me about him is it's not the Tua thing. It's more he's 5'9", 190 pounds. That's not a conducive size and weight for a quarterback in the NFL.
No, I know there's definitely concerns among. There's probably a lot of draft teams that won't have him on this board because you got those old school guys that are because Parcells would have never had him, and Jeff Ireland would have never had. Yeah, I know, but you have to agree to an Ireland would have never drafted Bryce Young because he had size restrictions.
So in your opinion, Anthony, a quarterback has to be 6'5" and 236 pounds in order to play the position, right?
No. I'm not.
That's what it sounds like to me.
No. I'm not saying 6'5".
6'2". What's your cutoff? 6'2", 6 feet.
Yeah, anything. No, and I understand what you're saying. His talent outweighs the concerns of height and weight.
Absolutely.
But to me, look, it's happening with the difference between him and Kyler Murray. Kyler's in the 200s and stuff like that. Kyler's 210 or something like that.
You're trying to tell me the dude couldn't get in an NFL training program and gain 10 pounds?
Yeah. I understand what you're saying, but to me, there are certain players that I notice that can't gain the weight. He seems very skinny. His frame seems very where it would affect his athleticism as a quarterback if he adds too much weight, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, okay. No, I agree. Anyway, guys, we're going to end on that good point. We have fun arguing about. We're going to see what the NFL teams think soon enough. We're going to see who they bring.
Would you guys be shocked if the Panthers do what I say they traded up for Will Anderson? Shocked.
Giving up all what they gave to go again a non-quarter, that's almost like draft day movie stuff. That's
that's nuts.
That's
crazy. I could see them picking Anthony Richardson at pick number 1. I could see that.
How about Will Levis?
I wouldn't be opposed to it if I was the Panthers because I like Will Levis, but I think that teams are going to shy away, and I think Levis will be the quarterback that drops.
No, for me, I think honestly, people are overhyping Anthony Richardson just way too much. I think he's the one that falls out of the top 10 or even out of the first round, to be honest.
Okay, look, let's use your argument on size against you right here. Okay, you got this guy with all the athletic ability. He can run like the wind. He's got great wiggle. Like, he put up those great combine numbers, and he's big. He's taller. So what's the difference between his game translating into the NFL and a Tua Tagovailoa or a Bryce Young?
No, my issue with him is the teams here, the teams in the top 10 are gonna. He has way too many inconsistencies with his accuracy and other stuff.
No, I agree. He's not an efficient passer. But teams are going to look at his ability to run the football, and they're going to fall in love with that. And someone's going to be like, hey, that outweighs his ability not to pass.
He's a bigger Michael Vick. That's what Anthony Richardson is. He's Michael Vick in a bigger body. Do you guys agree with that comparison?
Yeah, I know everyone gets injured in football for them.
I don't know. No, I don't agree with that. No, because I've never seen anybody at his size with that kind of athletic ability to play quarterback. No, I've never seen.
I understand that, but the way he plays, like when you look at him, the Michael Vick comparison is a little bit accurate, or am I way too?
I think he's not explosive like that. I think he's like
he's just fast.
He's fast and big, but he's like a running back in a quarterback body. You know what I mean? Like, he's a quarterback in a running back body. Like, he's big. Like, I've never seen anything like an Anthony Richardson.
This is why I'm saying I think Anthony Richardson is the one quarterback that they would move to another position. To be honest, other teams are going to move him to like tight end, like they did with Logan Thomas.
Oh, I remember that.
Kyler
we'll see, man. I guess we'll find out
Young
tonight. It all starts.
But anyway, it's almost time to go. But Albert chimed in with a Kyler Murray, another smaller quarterback. But yes, I got to run here, guys. But Kyler Murray is definitely another. But yeah, he's still, the verdict's still out on him. But let's see.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell your friends, like and subscribe.
Oh yes, I always forget. Thank you, Justin. Like and subscribe, Justin, and Anthony just bailed out, but he might still be listening. Thank you, Anthony, Albert, G-Man, Ender, all you guys that chimed in today. Fins up, go Dolphins, and Justin, we'll talk tomorrow probably. We'll see what we can do tomorrow. For sure tomorrow night, we're just going to be Justin and I talking. Tonight, I don't know, because we don't have a first-round pick. I hate kind of just watching the draft.
Unless we trade into the first round.
Yeah, I know. I didn't have to be the shock. But anyway, guys, make sure like and subscribe. Yes, G-Man, we can get him his one more heat. Like I said, I'm happy to see heat my local team down here. Anyway, guys, with no further ado, thank you so much for joining us. And we're going to end that. Basically, that's it. Unless, Justin, you have something left to say.
No, man, that's a great show. Draft is here, you guys. Welcome to the draft 2023. It's going to be awesome. The show is going to begin tonight, and enjoy the fireworks. Get your popcorn ready.
Yeah, it should be fun. And the draft's always fun, like I say. I mean, our Dolphins aren't on the board, and all of that good stuff. And yes, Lamar Jackson, he just chimed in with Albert did, but we're about to hit out. But yes, guys, thank you so much. And Justin, I talk to you soon so we can work out tomorrow's stuff.
Yep. All right.
Later, guys. Fins up, Dolphin fans.
Fins up.